What's up, guys? We're back with round two. We got some more slamming of Gary from Congress, and then we're going to get into some big Jasmy Labs news. So stay tuned for that. Let's get into it.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Gensler, good morning. I worry that the term investment contract has become so infinitely malleable and manipulable that it means whatever you unilaterally thinks it ought to be. Right? I worry that when it comes to crypto, your interpretation of the term investment contract has no limiting principle and therefore could invite arbitrary and capricious enforcement action. So I want to take a few minutes to explore the concept of investment contract in greater depth. And I want to start with an obvious definitional question. We know that an investment contract requires an investment. Does an investment contract require a contract?
Something about this definition, I will quote Thurgood Marshall: Congress painted with a broad brush. When Marshall said that, he was writing the law of the land. So we follow this Howey test and how not just Marshall, but other courts interpreted it. And it has a four component.
I did not go to MIT, but in the Bronx, if I ask whether an investment contract includes a contract, the answer is typically yes or no. So
actually, sir, under the Supreme Court law of the land, they do not write that in. They say it's an investment of money in a common enterprise, anticipating profits based on the efforts of others. So I took an oath to follow the law of the land, and that's the Supreme Court law of the land.
So in Howey, the Supreme Court refers to an investment contract as a contract, scheme, or transaction. That was the terminology that I saw in the case. And as far as I can tell, there's nothing in the Supreme Court's jurisprudence that suggests that a scheme or transaction means the absence of a contract. And so by way of illustration, consider the landmark case of SEC versus Howey. In the Howey case, it was not a single contract, but there were two contracts: a land sales contract with the Howey company and a service contract with Howey in the Hills. And the court found that the combination of those two contracts, the total scheme, the total transaction, the total economic reality, was constitutive of an investment contract. And so a scheme or a transaction does not mean the absence of any contract at all. It means, as it did in Howey, a multiplicity of contracts. In August, there were 6 law professors from law schools as preeminent as Yale who came to the following conclusion, quote, "No decision of the Supreme Court has ever found that a scheme that does not involve a contract could qualify as an investment contract." And so do you disagree with that statement? And if so, could you please cite a decision of the Supreme Court that has found an investment contract in the absence of an actual contract?
The SEC has been in front of multiple courts, and
Gary,
investment contract has been.
What's the name of the case, Mr. Gensler? The Supreme Court case that has found an investment contract in the absence of an actual contract. Do you have the name? Can you cite a case?
The SEC over the decades, whether it's
Can you cite a case?
Whether it's whiskey caskets, whether it's crypto,
Gary,
the public is investing based upon the.
You're rambling, Gary.
I find it telling that you cannot cite a single case.
The security.
Not a single. How about a Second Circuit case? Can you cite a single Second Circuit case that found an investment contract in the absence of a contract?
I understand where you're trying to go, and I'm going to leave that to the very fine attorneys at the SEC in front of courts. But I'm saying the core principle.
Mr. Gensler,
this is
let me finish. This is a question to which you should know the answer, because the definition of an investment contract is the central issue. That's what determines the extent of your authority. That's what determines the applicability of federal securities law to crypto transactions. And your inability to answer that question is baffling to me.
I'm answering it consistent with what the Supreme Court has said, which is the law of the land is a 4-part test.
And yet you cannot cite a single case to support your argument.
It's called Reeves. It's called many cases at the Supreme Court, sir. 8 or 9 times it's been affirmed by the Supreme Court.
Can I ask?
So he just said it's called multiple cases at the Supreme Court level, but he's been asked multiple times to cite a single case and he can't. So does that not mean that he's now lying under oath? Because no Supreme Court has ever deemed what he's saying to be the law. So he's being asked a direct question, which case are you referring to? And his response is multiple cases. Okay, well, name one. Name one. Just one, dude. If there's like 8 or 9, like he just says, name one.
Suppose I were to purchase a Pokemon card. Would doing so constitute a security transaction?
You could purchase a Pokemon card. I don't know what the context is, but if you're just purchasing a Pokemon card.
If I purchase a Pokemon card, is that a security transaction?
Or that's not a security.
Okay. If I were to purchase a tokenized Pokemon card on a digital exchange via a blockchain, is that a security transaction?
Gotcha,
I'd
Gary.
have to know more.
Okay, so for you, the process of tokenization is what transforms a non-security
just said-
transaction into a security transaction?
If the investing.
I thought you were technology neutral.
If the investing public is anticipating profits based upon the efforts of others and they're exchanging funds, that's the
I
core.
see my time has expired.
Gotcha. Thought you were technology neutral, Gary. Full of. Let's see
It
what else.
introduces a major questions doctrine, and you told Mr. Barr that you received tons of feedback on your proposed ESG disclosure rules, feedback that should make clear that the proposal for ESG disclosure is a major question, and it should make clear that you don't have the legal authority to do that. So I'd ask you to knock it off, cease and desist, and work with this body to pass a law if you want to regulate something. You know, frankly, your time as chairman has highlighted 2 problems, a Gary Gensler problem and a structural flaw in the SEC. And as I told you in April, I proposed a solution called the SEC Stabilization Act. You're making the case for this bill easier every day you are acting as the chairman by doing rulemaking after rulemaking without any regard to the impact of these rules, or maybe that's the feature for you, I don't know. But it's having a massive impact on our markets. I mean, we have markets that truly are the envy of the world, and why would you disrupt them? You know, with processes that are driving capital out of our markets, not because to avoid our laws, but to find some place where they can get clarity, where they can work with a regulator and get a decision in a path forward. So instead of selectively applied, you are short. You're not providing clarity with a rule that's evenly applied. You're intentionally shortened comment periods to limit feedback, and the courts have even called this arbitrary and capricious. You're pushing a woke political and social agenda, and I think abusing your role in the authority of the SEC as covered. So, you know, I think fundamentally, the SEC Stabilization Act would remove the role of chairman. It would preserve the current commissioners. It would add a 6th commissioner. So there would be no more than 3 from any one political party. And so that would provide a path that would make the SEC do what you're avoiding. Frankly, you're front running Congress, you're front running the courts, you're front running even the own administration, and no one has held you to account for that. I mean, I wish the Biden administration would say you're fired, but the list of folks they need to do that for is long. Congress hopefully will with the SEC Stabilization Act. I yield.
Gentleman's time's expired.
And it
Got him. Representative Maxine Waters says SEC Chair Gary Gensler is doing exactly what the American people want. A fantastic job. If she seriously thinks that Gary is doing exactly what the American people want, she is so out of touch with the American people, up high on her pedestal, that now listen, I'm in Canada, okay? You guys down in the States need to remember this stuff when you're voting, right? These people who are this disconnected with the American retail investor need to go. You need to vote them out. They have no idea what you want or what is in your best interest anymore. That is how far disconnected this woman is. That's scary. ChatGPT can now browse the internet to provide you with current and authoritative information, complete with direct links to sources. It's no longer limited to data before September 2021. Another step forward for AI technology. This is great because I personally use ChatGPT quite often. So that's awesome. Let's get another one in there, guys.
To approve the listing of spot Bitcoin ETPs after your recent loss in court to Grayscale. Now that the SEC has the court's decision in hand, rejecting your rationale for denial, does the SEC plan to approve the current pending spot Bitcoin ETF applications?
Thank you for your letter. I did read it last night. Again, we're still taking this under advisement. It's a recent court action, and staff and commissioners will take it up as appropriate.
The court concluded the SEC's denial of Grayscale lacked, quote, a coherent explanation, and then, quote unquote, falls short of the standard for reasoned decision making, and then was, quote unquote, arbitrary and capricious. How do you explain the SEC's actions?
We do that which we do under the law as best we can. Sometimes things go into court. We're still considering that court decision. I think it was a district court. I'm sorry, appellate court, but we're still considering that appellate court decision. I don't want to get ahead of the staff or my fellow commissioners.
What does that mean exactly? We're still considering the court's decision. What's to consider? The court made a decision. What are you sitting there considering? Do your job. Kraken crypto exchange to launch stock trading. Massive news, guys. Massive news. This will project Kraken even further into solidifying its position as one of the top 5 exchanges, in my opinion. I do have a Kraken wallet or account. I don't use it very often. It was the very first exchange I ever used, though. But yeah, this is massive news for Kraken. That's awesome. Congratulations. Government shutdown might approve Bitcoin ETF by default. BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF application has a deadline of October 17th for the SEC to delay, reject, or let it pass. Grayscale's application is due on October 13th. That happens to be a Friday. The U.S. government is increasingly likely to shut down this weekend as a far-right group in Congress weaponizes the tight Republican majority in the House to take control. So basically what we're saying here, guys, is that if there's nobody working at the SEC because of a shutdown and the SEC doesn't kick the can, this might strategically be what Gary did on purpose, right? Because if you'll, excuse me, if you'll recall, I believe it was yesterday, the SEC delayed Kathy Wood's ARK Invest and another ETF application that we're coming up due probably next month, I believe, or later next month. Yeah, anyway, like the 15th of next month, I think. They kicked that can down the road. They already delayed it way sooner than they had to, right? So the fact that they did that, and then all of a sudden, conveniently, the government shuts down and the SEC doesn't get to to BlackRock's, and BlackRock's gets approved by default. It wasn't our fault. We weren't working. A shutdown came, so we couldn't deal with it. And now the time passed for us to make it, because if the SEC doesn't make a decision on it, guys, right, from my understanding, if the SEC doesn't deny or delay it, and the time of the October 13th comes and goes, or sorry, not October 13th, October 17th, right? If that time comes and goes, the 17th comes and then passes, and the SEC has not denied or delayed, then it passes by default, and BlackRock has the first spot Bitcoin ETF, right? And then Gary's able to say, well, there's nothing I could do about it. The government was shut down, right? Kind of convenient, isn't it? Isn't that funny how that works out? I wouldn't be shocked, guys, if that was the plan in the first place, if that's what they're going to do. You watch. I love this quote. Congressman U.S. Congressman to the SEC Chair, Gensler, you have a serious question to answer to the public and to Congress. We intend to get your compliance. We can do it the easy way or the hard way. I love it. Let's do it the hard way. I would love to see it done the hard way. Let's go. We got some Jasmy Labs updates for you guys. Establishment of a new project to promote the token economy. We've launched Jasmy Labs, the new project. Hang on a second here. Yeah, sorry. The new project to drive the token economy for Jasmy and others. The primary objective of this is to promote the global spread of the Jasmy coin, the unique economic zone that we have built. And the secondary purpose is to help other companies to raise funds and acquire users safely within the framework of the law, just like Jasmy. With the revision of the Japan legislation, we provide support for many companies to build their own economic zones as the environment for companies to create their own economic zones is being prepared. This is called finance democracy and is a new slogan. Japan's new legislation allows stable coins to be issued and tokens to be listed. This is a huge opportunity for companies to attract investors and users and expand their economic sphere. Therefore, based on the philosophy of financial democracy, we will support companies and projects to establish their own economic zones by utilizing our knowledge so far. We believe that the following 3 steps are necessary to establish a unique economic zone. 1. Build a Web3 P2P community. Communicate directly with investors through social media and voice tools to incorporate user input into your project. For example, we will use voice communication tools such as Twitter Space to create an interactive place for information exchange. 2. Expand potential customers through token listings. Listing a token is not only a fundraiser, but also an opportunity to increase awareness of the project. By listing your token on an exchange, you can make your project known to a wider range of investors and users. Build your own economic zone using wallets. You will need a wallet to hold and manage your project's tokens. Wallets are an important tool not only for storing tokens on exchanges, but also for drawing users into the economic sphere of the project. Of particular importance is to form a I'm tongue-tied, guys. Participatory community where users can participate proactively and act. Here, the project side is requested to clearly communicate the usefulness of the project, its technical superiority, and whether the project is based on a good concept. From these 3 steps, we will provide full support to form, maintain, and develop our own economic zone. Listing tokens is an important step for the project, but requires strict rules and complex procedures according to county-specific regulations. That's why our team is experienced experts at Jasmy Labs who will suggest the right strategy and planning to help you meet the listing requirements, which vary by country and exchange. We take care of the complex process for you, and even after listing, we help drive the project's ecosystem and community development. About Jasmy Lab Token Economy Solution Service. We build on Jasmy's success stories to provide services to build a token economy for each company and project. The following 3 token economy solutions services are available. Token Proof Gateway. This token proof gateway. Technology facilitates the authentication and issuance of NFTs and FTs through the linkage of addresses and databases, enabling the fusion of Web3 and real events, especially for people who are developing their business mainly on Web2. Complicated procedures such as disclosing their addresses and using disposable wallets and addresses are a major hurdle. In order to solve these problems, the token proof gateway has been deployed to enable smooth authentication of tokens in real life. OEM wallets. We offer OME wallet chain, multi-chain wallets that can be customized to suit the needs of each company. This makes it easier for each company or project to own its own wallet while saving time and money, making it easier to introduce into the economic sphere. Stablecoins. We have applied for and are preparing to provide stablecoin domination in Japan's yen. That enables common payments on web services and wallets under the new legislation. Stablecoins will serve as a common means of payment within the platform and can be used internationally, which will help you expand your business internationally. In this way, Jasmy Labs will play a part in the creation of new economic zone and promote the construction of a token economy for companies and projects. Jasmy projects raises problems and toward data democracy. Next, I don't know where the from. Next, we will share Jasmy's philosophy and efforts towards data democracy. We want to solve the problem of managing personal data. Basically, when you use a service on the internet, you will be asked to provide a lot of personal information, such as name, address, date of birth, gender, email address, credit card, and bank information. However, few people know exactly how much personal information they provide. In particular, where does highly private information, such as debt data and registration with marriage agencies, exist now? And who manages it? In addition, it is possible that your device has been compromised by hacking. Is the security of our device really enough? Are many companies with large amounts of user data really able to keep their personal data secure? We have deep doubts about the OpenSea of these personal data management and protection. Therefore, in order to solve these questions about personal data, we at Jasmy have set up data democracy, and we are promoting our business with the aim to create an environment where you can self-manage your data and provide data with peace of mind. Jasmy has 3 phases in mind to achieve this goal. Phase 3, store your own data safely and securely, and control phase. Manage your device safely and securely and control. Our own data safely and securely under clear rules. We are also working to make data valuable from a web perspective. Data has potential value, and if you can control and utilize that value yourself, it will lead to the creation of new value. That's why we're thinking about a mechanism that allows individuals to provide their data and receive compensation for it. Our goal is to create a world where people can understand the value of data and specifically value it as an asset. In order to realize a society where data can be valued, we have 2 core technologies that make unique use of blockchain technology. The first is a technology to properly pass your own know your customer data to the other party. It manages what kind of data was provided and how and when it was provided between the parties where KYC was performed. This makes data usage clearly traceable. The second is technology that enables you to manage your own devices. This allows you to constantly monitor the status of your device, even from a remote location. We have obtained a patent for this purpose, taking advantage of these technologies. We have developed new products. It is the only blockchain PC in the world, released from Hong Kong in May 2nd. Sony Ventures company Jasmy and Hong Kong PC brand Aveda have partnered to develop, manufacture, and sell this blockchain PC. We have started receiving orders mainly from Hong Kong to South Asia and have already received more than 1 to 2 orders 1 to 2 months. I think they've sold over 20,000 units. That was a few months ago, so they're going to be way higher now. In the future, we are continuing our activities to expand also to Japan, the United States, and even the whole world. However, what we really aim for is not just to sell blockchain PCs through blockchain PCs. It is about creating an environment where individuals can take control of their data, manage their own data, and owning their own data locker. The blockchain PC we developed can securely store and provide users own data through a built-in wallet. In addition, depositing a certain amount of Jasmy coin expands the functionality of the wallet. This staking of Jasmy coin enables wallet activation and promotes the value of data. As many people use blockchain PC, we have developed the number of users of data lockers will increase, and the type and amount of the data will increase accordingly. This will create a large-scale economic zone and make it possible to value individual data through an appropriate reward system, through an ecosystem that makes the right use of data and provides rewards. Users are free to provide and license their data. We also believe that data can be retrieved if necessary, creating a secure and reliable data marketplace. Conclusion: cryptocurrencies have an appeal that allow them to be financed through proper listings, which in turn leads to greater user acquisition. We strive every day to become a leader in the current crypto market. There you have it, guys. A lot of comments by Hara and things like that. Very, very bullish news for Jasmy Labs as they continue to try to expand their ecosystem, try to get other projects to build on their blockchain. This company just continues to grow. How anyone can be bearish on it, I have absolutely no idea. If you are, I encourage you to do your research, or if you don't want to do your research, go back on some of my Jasmy videos and you can see full comprehensive breakdowns of some of the things that Jasmy as a company is doing, and you will see that the fact that you're saying it's a scam is absolutely ridiculous, right? So anyway, guys, that is the news. That's the second video this morning. Holy smokes. Smash the like, smash the subscribe. As usual, guys, I am not a financial advisor, not financial advice. Make sure that you're doing your own research. And obviously, check out the channel sponsor, LBank, down below. Do your spot trading, leverage trading, copy trading. No KYC required. And guys, support the channel. Become a member, $4.99 a month. You get exclusive content over there. You get microcap gems, get in early on projects. You get access to one-on-ones with me where you can pick my brain, ask me questions. I can look at your portfolio, things of that nature. And also you get updates on my personal portfolio, what I'm buying, what I'm selling, when I'm DCAing. And yeah, so see you guys in the next one. And hope you guys are having a good day.